Hello from week 3 of living full-time in my truck camper with my dog Emmy. I didn't vlog at all on week 2. I wanted to just kind of like experience it as it was, but there I go again with the I have this idea of sort of alternating between travel vlogs and then like tours of different parts of my rig or like supplies that I have with me, just so that I don't feel pressure to like vlog every single experience that I have, because it is fun and it is an interesting way to document it. But I feel like when you're like experiencing things through that lens, you're like not present in the same way. But anyway, last week was a continuation on the theme of high highs and low lows. I won't recap everything that I did, but I went up to Polbridge, Montana and saw a really cool show, and I wrote about it in my newsletter, which I can link below. I am taking some steps toward making the vehicle more sustainable long term for me to be like comfortable and like find a rad spot and post up for a while. So I got a recommendation for a shop that might be able to help me wire my Goal Zero battery to my car battery, and reached out to them, and hopefully that will be something that is like feasible and affordable. I'd rather have somebody do it properly rather than trying to like do it myself and always be worried that I messed it up. I also went ahead and ordered an awning. The awning that I originally wanted has been sold out for a while, and I was hoping it would come back into stock. But I finally got an update from the US distributor of that company, which is EasyOn, and they said that they don't expect them to be back in stock until the end of the year or maybe early next year. And I just really feel like I need the ability to make my own shade. It's been still pretty hot. Like I think tomorrow is going to be in the 90s, and it's just really hard to keep myself and especially Emmy cool when it's that hot. And yeah, the ability to like park in the sun so that I can charge the solar but then have shade to hang out in, I think is going to be a game changer. I had originally wanted the Bat awning that they make, which is a 270 degree awning, and that's the one that's sold out. So I ended up splurging a little bit for the Manta. It is also a 270 degree awning, but it has a little bit more coverage on the side, which is marginally heavier. It kind of looked almost like it's the same weight, more or less. It's a little bit more challenging to set up, but really it's like maybe 10 seconds more. I think it may end up actually even being better, because I'll have like full coverage on the side, and then I'll still have a piece that comes around the back, so if it's like raining and I want to cook off the tailgate, that'll be an option. I spent some time in Hamilton, Montana today, getting my tires rotated and an oil change and that kind of stuff, just to keep the truck running smoothly. And then I took a Highway 38 east from the Hamilton area, and now I am in the Beaverhead National Forest and found a really nice little spot far away from everybody else. I was feeling pretty down the last few days, like wondering if I had made a huge mistake of choosing this lifestyle, and wondering how I was ever gonna be like comfortable and efficient enough with the lifestyle that I'll be able to work and earn money. Right now I'm just living off of savings, but I also planned the entire month of August to just settle in and figure it out. and we're only halfway through. So I feel like I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself to just hit the ground running, and I need to give myself a little bit more grace. I think once I have the shade and the power thing dialed, things are going to be a lot easier and better. And I'll be able to have what I want, which is the ability to go out somewhere far away from everything and just like find a rad spot and post up for like a whole week and be in nature and cook good food and focus on building up my coaching business. I just feel more hopeful for whatever reason today that is possible. So that is a nice feeling to have. We will see how I feel tomorrow. It's a little chilly this morning, so I'm having my coffee inside. Snuggled up, which is nice. And I slept okay last night. I think I might need a comfier mattress, to be honest. But I'm gonna try to make this one work for now. One thing that I've noticed is because it's inflated, it's like the just a basic REI like Thermarest knockoff thing. Because it has air in it, and I just leave it inflated most of the time. The density or whatever of the air, I don't know if that's the right word, but it gets like fuller and less full depending on elevation. And so I'm a little higher up now, and it's like rock hard. And I probably should have gotten up and let a little bit of air out of it, but I didn't. So having a nice slow morning. I'm gonna cook some breakfast. I'm tempted to stay here tonight again. My battery is at 75% after one day, so that's not bad compared to how it has been. I don't know if it's because it's hasn't been as hot, although yesterday was pretty hot. DC cord, power cord is definitely helping. But I still need to be pretty conservative with my power use. Like, I'm not gonna like let Starlink rip or anything like that. And last night I used my headlamp instead of the camper lights, and I only let my X-Air fan run for like a short period of time when I first got to camp to like flush out all the stale air. So hopefully once I have the power a little more dialed, I won't have to be quite as concerned about some of those things. Like, it'd be nice to work for a few hours today, but the Starlink uses so much power that I'm hesitant to do that. And I don't really have a lot of stuff that I could do offline. Yeah, one of the reasons that I wanted to do this is to have the freedom to just kind of like see how I feel. So yeah, it's like exactly what I wanted, but it's also a little bit what's the word? It can be overwhelming to be able to be like, I can do whatever I want. I think I said this yesterday, but I'm slowly working my way toward Bozeman, and I think I'm gonna go into Bozeman tomorrow so I can avoid weekend shenanigans there. So I may decide to drive a little further today just so that I'm a little bit closer, but we'll see how I feel.
I invite you to do what your body wants to do today. I invite you to feel the ground underneath you, and I invite you to listen to my... Yeah, good stretch.
Okay, so it's about 11 a.m. now, and it got pretty sunny and warm in the spot where I was parked. So I repositioned the truck so that the back part is in the shade, but the front part is in the sun. Well, looks like I need to pull forward more so I could try to get a little bit of a solar charge. So yeah, I'll pull forward a little bit more so that's in full sun. And then there is this little path. I don't know if you can see it. There's a couple little paths going off, and I can hear a stream in the background. So I think I'm going to take my coffee down there and check that out and have a little bar. And then we'll probably move down the road and try to find somewhere else to either camp or stop and cook lunch.
Looking at photos, or if you're lucky enough to be face to face with it, this crunchy algae.
Okay, so I found a shady spot to stop and make lunch. There's this nice little free Forest Service campground that had a spot in the shade. I don't think it's going to be shady all day, but I should be good long enough for me to cook. I am just making a repeat of the meal that I had last week for breakfast. I had some leftover ingredients, but wanted to share a little tip, I guess a couple tips. But when I was at my sister's place and had access to a kitchen and a compost, I went ahead and pre-chopped my veggies. So I have onion and red and green peppers here. I'm parboiling some potatoes. I'm going to fry that all up together and then top it with a fried egg or two. But pre-chopping your veggies when you can, when you're in a place that's easy to clean up, whether it's at a friend's house or a family member's house or even just at a campground that has like water and trash. So this is going to take up less space in the fridge, less cleanup for me to do here because I am not having to bust out the cutting board and knife and all of that. And also just love these deli containers. I used these a ton at home and have found them to be incredibly useful when camping for storing food and storing all kinds of other stuff as well. So yeah, I am going to cook some food and chill out for a little bit and probably keep driving and find a different spot to camp for tonight.
Surprisingly, no.
I didn't film very much today because most of the day was just driving. I wanted to get closer to Bozeman because I want to go grocery shopping at the food co-op there, which I've been to before and really like. And because it's been so hot, I want to get there like right when they open so that I could leave Emmy in the car with the windows cracked and I don't have to worry about her overheating. It was really hot in Bozeman. It was like 92 or 93 degrees. And that just like drains all the life out of me. Even just sitting in the car, like my AC just, it's an old truck. It can't really keep up with high temps. I drove up Highlight Canyon outside of Bozeman and had to go way, way, way up the Forest Service Road to find an open spot. There was hella people camping up here, even though it's like a Tuesday. But thankfully I found one and didn't have to pay for a campsite at a busy campground. Unfortunately, there are people shooting up here, which is a little bit annoying, but hopefully it won't last a super long time. And yeah, I'm glad I found a spot. It's going to take a while to get down in the morning, so I'll probably leave pretty early and not really film much of it. But tonight I'm going to make a meal plan and a grocery list And hopefully tomorrow I'll get to spend some time at a coffee shop that I really like in Bozeman, or I did like when I came here like 5 or 6 years ago. And hopefully I think I have just enough energy tonight to like heat up my soup for dinner and crash out. So yeah, sorry I'm not being very articulate. I'm very tired. Oh, it's also smoky. Actually, it's not too bad up here, but I noticed as I was getting closer to Bozeman that there's some like wildfire smoke in the area, and that might shift the plans, because I was going to continue eastward for a ways, and if it stays bad or gets worse, I might pivot and go somewhere with cleaner air. But that's just the reality of living in the West in the summer. Okay, I just want to say that I'm super glad that my dinner tonight is just soup that I had already reconstituted, that I could just warm up in the Jetboil inside. I don't have to deal with bugs. I'm already in my pajamas. It's like all I have the energy for. And I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but I am a coach, and one of the resources that I created to help people live better lives is a zine about meal planning. And there are a lot of tips about being strategic about things like that. Sorry, I don't want this to seem like too much of an ad. But like knowing that you're going to have a long day and you're not going to have a lot of energy, and so planning something easy for dinner that night is like such a lifesaver and a game changer. And if you're interested in learning more tips and tricks and strategies to make meal planning and feeding yourself easier, I will put a link in the description of this video for you to check that out. And just another shout out to deli cups, because I had several of these in different sizes. I had the soup that I reconstituted or rehydrated, made 3 servings. So I ate 1, and then I portioned out 2 other servings into these 16-ounce deli cups. And I was able to just dump it in the Jetboil and heat it up. And then I still have 1 left to go for either lunch or dinner tomorrow. So yeah, helping people get better at meal planning has helped me so much, especially as a neurodivergent person who has a hard time feeding themselves. And I'm really passionate about helping other people get better at it, because it can make your life easier and better. And I'm all about helping people do that. So anyway, I am going to eat my soup and call it a night. Oh, and I made my grocery list also and highlighted it by different areas of the grocery store, which is another tip that is in the zine that I wrote. And it just helps you be more efficient and quick in the grocery store, which is super important if you are in a situation like me where tomorrow Emmy's going to be in the car. I don't want to leave her in there for too long. And doing that will help me get in and get out of the grocery store like as quick as possible, and still make sure that I get everything that I need. So lots of great tips like that in the zine if you're interested. There is a print version that I mail out to folks, and there's also an instant digital download where you save a little bit of money and you get immediate gratification. So anyway, just wanted to slide this into this week's video. I hope that you found it interesting or helpful. And yeah, good night for now.